the opposition New Patriotic Parties urging the Inspector General of Police, Mr. Christian Tete Yohunu, to swiftly arrest and investigate senior members of the ruling National Democratic Congress over alleged death threats and physical assault targeting its leadership. In a statement signed by its General Secretary Justin Frimpong Kodia Esquire, the party accused NDC First National Vice Chair Chief Sofo Azorka and the Buakwa North Constituency Communication Officer Alhaji Abdul Wahab Amadou of issuing death threats against the minority leader in Parliament, Osahene Kwame Apenimaken, who doubles as the Member of Parliament for Ifuto constituency, the NPP National Organizer Henry Boachi, Nana Boachi, known as Nana B, the Member of Parliament for Nsawama Dreju, Frank Anodompre. The NPP further alleged that its third National Vice Chair, Alhaji Osman Masawudu, was physically attacked by Chief Azorka and his associate during the by-election that's yesterday. Well, let me share that statement with you. What the party talked about says that the New Patriotic Party condemns the threats of death against the minority leader Osahene Kwame Apenimaken, the National Organizer Nana B, MP from Nsawama Dreju, Frank Anodompre, by the first National Vice Chair of the NDC, Chief Sofo Azorka, and Alhaji Wahab, Communication Officer of the NDC. The party further condemns the unprovoked physical attack of its third National Vice Chair, Alhaji Osman Masabudu, by Chief Sofo Azorka and his notorious hoodlums. That's the word they use, verbatim. I'm quoting that. Such violent conduct by no means a person than a national officer of the ruling party and a constituency officer diminishes the gains of our democracy and has the potential to create further insecurity in the country. In the face of Ghana's recent decline in the Global Peace Index ranking, the party will formally lodge complaint with the Ghana Police Service against the mentioned individuals. We're also calling on a just part of post-election actions to immediately arrest and investigate Chief Sofo Azorka, Alhaji Abdul Wahab, and any other person captured in the videos widely circulated in the media. The recklessness of the actions of Chief Sofo Azorka and Alhaji Masawood ought to be properly investigated and punished. So this is signed by the General Secretary of the opposition New Patriotic Party. While speaking to my colleague Elizabeth Edu earlier on 12 Live this afternoon, member of the NPP's communication team Isaac Opin insisted the police must swiftly act.
I think that if the NDC do not put surprises, one of them I mentioned earlier was the transition of the ballot boxes to the coalition sector. And let me be very blunt on this. We saw the polling acting very professionally. For every ballot boxes that came in, we saw a full armed policeman protecting the ballot boxes and allowing vehicles also for polling agents or for party people also to follow. Just that into the coalition center, you not be allowed there if you don't have an accreditation. So that is what I can say for that. So for the work of the police, I believe that we need to commend them. They've done a good job. The red flags that we raised, we saw them implementing them and making sure that they protect the vote of the ordinary people. The only thing that I'll have to say in addition to that is that we also heard and we saw videos of it, of one of the chairpersons of the NDC, Azorka, Mr. Azorka, threatening the life of the minority leader. I believe that in the fair democracy of our nature, this young man or this old man should be picked up. That is going to firm up the completion of what the police has done. Because you cannot threaten the life of the minority leader, a member of parliament, and just be walking around. At the same time, we have that some social media handles had posted videos, and within the twinkle of an eye, they were picked up. So why is the chairperson or one of the chairpersons of the NDC, Chairman Azorka, walking around? Is it that they choose to select who to apply justice to? For me, if the Ghana Police and the IGP is listening to me this afternoon, we call on him to act the fullness of the rigors of the law. Even leave this man walking around. That is an indictment on the role and the kind of job that they've done.
So that's a member of the NPP's communication team, Isaac Obing. I've been joined on the phone by Deputy Director of Elections for the NDC, Madi Jibril. Madi, good evening to you. Thank you so much for your time and congratulations in that election yesterday.
Thank you.
I'm sure you've seen the statement from the NPP. Let me have your reaction to that.
Kwame, I think it's unfortunate. The NPP, there was 2 videos that is in circulation. The first one was on the spot statement, where Azorka said if they have met the minority leader when he came there, they could have tagged him. There could have been by election in this constituency, which is dangerous. However, when he was questioned again, did you have that? Did Mikey did what they said? He said no. They said no, meaning that if he had been there and he didn't do anything, nothing would have happened to Mikey. Again, he mentioned that if you don't respect the police, then we'll help you to respect the police. So, in these three issues, which one the NPP is asking him to come and answer?
Well, they say that they are condemning the unprovoked physical attack of its third national chairman, Alhaji Osman Masawudu. Again, they said that the recklessness of the actions of Chief Sofo Azorka. So they are describing what happened as a reckless action, and Alhaji Awudu Masawudu ought to be investigated. So one is what you've talked about. That's the what they describe as a threat on the life of the Member of Parliament, Nanabi, and also MP for Nsoma Doji, Frank Anodompre.
When the same third vice chairman of PP pushed the TV3 bike, what did MPP say? What did MPP say when he pushed the TV3 bike? In fact, if the guy had turned closer, he would have attacked him. In fact, even when they came to NDC party office, when TV3 reporter brought his mic, and NDC Akwatia, this same person went over to say that he will not allow TV3 to put their mic in the party office. The same person. What did Nana B, the General Secretary, said about it? We should give us a benefit. The NPP lost election in Ablokumanov. Akwatia. In order to push the issue of their disgrace, they're going to this strata. I'm saying that the people of Akwatia, NPP of Akwatia, are asking Johnson Godia to come and report on the filing fee of their nomination in Akwatia. But whatever they said, if it's about inviting Azorka, and the police is able to invite him, doesn't mean that he is going to be arrested. And if he's arrested, it's about the law. But I'm saying that there were 3 videos of the same person on the same day. So if you are doing choose and pick, I believe that the full videos of Azorka will be played on the same person they are talking about.
So you don't see the need for the IGP to investigate or arrest this person you are talking about?
I think it's needless, especially because the NPP in leadership this time around, I don't know if it's laziness, wasting the whole public time to do all these issues.
You think they are diverting attention from the loss in that election by bringing this?
But if they can even try to jump to the seat, we have won the seat. Yeah?
Well, Madi, away from this subject, now you have a candidate, an MP elect for Akwatia constituency. Before the election or going into the election, there were several campaign promises to the people. One has to do with massive development, because if they vote for your candidate, his government is in power. Therefore, developing the constituency will not be a problem. What next for the party in that constituency and also the eastern region as a whole?
I believe you are asking me to tell you what we'll do in the next 4 years.
Very well.
Today. We'll go back to the people in 4 years. And we believe we'll go back to them and tell a good story. The promise we give to Ghanaians about the free education that when we come, we will not cancel. The people of Akwatia have seen since we came to power. We are even enhancing it. We promise we'll abolish double tracking. The people of Akwatia will also affect them. So we have started. So 4 years, if you want us to do all today, which you cannot do all today, but we believe that in the next 4 years, our story in every constituency in Ghana will be a story of success.
Well, Madi, in the absence of any other thing, let me say thank you and wish you well.
But I think that the NPP by now, we are also talking about the New Jabi South candidate, MP.
Which the member of parliament for New Jabi?
Yes. The man they should be telling us how reckless he is. By making a statement that if NDC wins, he would resign. And this is the person you want us to call him a memorable member. And NPP is not saying anything about that.
Well, he has apologized. I mean, for that comment he made.
They should watch the full video of Azorka. They should watch the full video. Are you aware that in Akwatia itself, that Akwatia was working with one of their members? This guy said NDC killed and it could be. I'm sure you saw the video.
Yeah.
And this is the general secretary of the party, encouraging him to say that it's NDC who killed Aniskuni. But they have this to come and write this statement. Perhaps maybe we have to now deal with everything. I think we have compared the NPP for too long. We have compared. If I did a same general secretary who came to NDC headquarters and said that most of the time these young guys who make these reckless statements, they don't even know them. But he was working with the same person and encouraging him. When he finished, he gave him money. That say that NDC killed Aniskuni. And the MPP have never made a statement on that. If you go and invite this person today, Baomia will come and stand and say, oh, I continue saying this camp. These are people I want to see in my campaign. We are serious in this country, bro.
Anyway, Madi, let me thank you for your time this evening. I'm grateful.
Thank you.
So that's Madi Jibril, who is the Deputy Director of Elections for the ruling National Democratic Congress. We also established contact with some security analysts on this particular matter because the NPP say that really it is a threat on the life, especially on the Member of Parliament for Ifutu constituency and also the minority leader in Parliament or Sahina Kwamana Afanyo marking there. So that's really a matter that I want to delve into. And also Dr. Jonathan Santochi will also join us on the line to have really another perspective. So let me go on the phone line and speak to the Executive Director of Africa Center for Security and Counterterrorism, Emmanuel Kuting. Mr. Kuting, good evening to you. Thank you so much for your time on 505.
Good evening. Thank you for having me. And very good evening to your cherished listeners.
Great. Let me take you back a bit and have a conversation on the Akwatia by-election yesterday. I'm sure that from the security point of view, you have your own reservation. Let me have your assessment on how the election went for you in terms of security.
Well, in terms of security, we didn't witness any violence like we've done in past by-elections, except the skirmishes between Azorka and Buka, and that of the allegation of the minority leader, and some say is the General Secretary of the NPP, going to the NDC office to deface posters. But the truth of the matter is the Inspector General of Police ought to be commended because they brought some novelty in policing we have never witnessed in any by-election. That's the introduction of technology where they zone the entire constituency and could view every community remotely, and the use of drones and body cam on the day of the elections. My reservation, however, had to do with the numbers. I still stand at the 5,500 personnel deployed, minus the soldiers. If you add the contingents of the army, we are talking about 7,000 plus. And we ask ourselves, to what cost to the taxpayer? So I'm using your medium as a matter of agency and the spirit of democracy for the government to let us know the expenditure on security. Then we can do a thorough analysis about the numbers game. Because I believe that insecurity is about the systems and not the numbers. If the systems were not in place, even if you are taking 100,000 personnel to Akwatia, we wouldn't have gotten the results we had. And you realize that this thing happened at the expense of the entire security architecture of the nation.
Yeah.
The IGP before the day of the election was in Akwatia. On the day of election, he was in Akwatia. So it means that policing in this country on the day was moved to Accra to Akwatia because of simply the issue of a by-election. Replacing an MP, I think our democracy have come beyond those things. And the other aspect we ought to look at, and it's very serious, and I'm setting this example to illustrate my point. Just imagine that the president and the vice president had to abandon their duty post in Accra and go to Akwatia because the party which has brought them to power was contesting an election. I hope you get the analysis I'm trying to. And just look at what happened during the Omoho. The casualties we harvested at the Teshi and then some other parts of Accra. So these are the things we are talking about. You don't leave the security architecture of the country just because of a by-election. In the north, in Beniyiri, we had issues of people fleeing from conflict. We recorded some casualties as well. People were crossing to neighboring Abricos. Some got drowned. So to me, we have to have a critical analysis of Akwatia and use it as a benchmark for future by-elections in this country. Beyond the two incidents that happened, just imagine that if the political parties had accepted the proposal some of us brought, that in the spirit of democracy, the two major stakeholders were the NDC and the NPP. Let's agree. It's just a by-election. 24 hours or 48 hours to the elections. If you are not a voter in that constituency, you shouldn't have any business to be there unless you are accredited to do something. For the presence of Azorka, it's not Azorka. Alaji
Azorka. So far
Azorka.
Yeah.
And Buka of NPP, we would have witnessed a violence-free by-election in the history of this country. So moving forward, we need to have a conversation. Our democracy have come of age. Democracy by itself, we cannot even define it properly in context. We have to judge what works for us, add our local dynamics and values, use it as a case study, and I'm sure other parts of the world can learn from us. That is how countries become innovative using their values and traditions. So I don't think that we don't have to copy everything black and white from the white man. We have to look at our local dynamics as well.
Very well.
But by and large, the police did well beyond the numbers that were put in Akwatia. So we are praying and hoping that in the spirit of democracy, they will come out and let us know the cost to the taxpayer.
Fantastic submission. You've talked about electoral reforms as far as our policing is concerned. But the NPP is also raising an argument that they are condemning the threats of death and physical attack on some by some NDC officers. There was a threat to the member of parliament for Ifutu, Alexander Fenemakin, that there will be a by-election in his constituency. And of course, we know what that means. We saw that video going viral. What's your assessment of that particular viral video, and what steps should the police take on this matter?
I think threat of any form should be taken seriously. If you listen to the Honorable Minority Leader, he said this is not the first time Azorka threatened him. And this time he was taking it very serious. But he's a lawyer. He knows better than most of us. And he knows the steps to